In a land of mystic legends and untamed beauty, where the veil between the worlds is thin, one man's journey would change the course of history forever. Kidnapped from his home, thrust into slavery, a young boy's spirit is tested. But in the depths of despair, a light shines forth. From the chains of bondage to the halls of kings, witness the incredible true story of Saint Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland. Armed with faith and a heart for the people who once enslaved him, he returns, not as a captive, but as a beacon of hope. Miracles follow him, legends are born around him, and a nation is forever transformed. But who was the man behind the myth? What truths lie buried in the mists of time? Join us on a journey through the past as we uncover the story of faith, courage, and the unwavering spirit of Saint Patrick.
In the waning days of Roman Britain, amidst the lush landscapes and the tumult of a declining empire, a boy named Patrick was born into a world at the crossroads of cultures. It's thought to be the 5th century, a time when the Roman legions were withdrawing, leaving behind a mosaic of Roman-British communities grappling with their identity and future. Patrick's family was part of the Roman-British aristocracy. His father, Calpurnius, served as a deacon in the Christian church, a role of both spiritual and social significance. His grandfather, Potitus, was a priest, indicating that Patrick's upbringing was steeped in religious tradition. Despite their status, Patrick's early life was not insulated from the era's hardships. The Roman withdrawal had left Britain vulnerable to raids and invasions, particularly by Irish marauders seeking plunder and slaves. It was within this volatile world that Patrick grew up, learning the tenets of his faith and the realities of his time. At the age of 16, the tranquility of Patrick's youth was shattered one fateful day when Irish raiders descended upon his village. The chaos and terror of the raid would mark the end of his life as he knew it. Captured and bound, the young Patrick, along with many others, was loaded onto a ship bound for Ireland, a land known to the Romans as Hibernia. But to Patrick, it was a world away from everything familiar. The journey across the Irish Sea was just the beginning of Patrick's ordeal. Upon arrival, he was sold into slavery. The teenage boy, once destined for a position within the Roman-British elite, found himself in the starkly different role of a shepherd, tasked with tending to his master's flocks. The rolling hills and rugged landscapes of Ireland were both a prison and a place of profound personal transformation for Patrick. Isolated from human companionship, facing hunger, cold, and despair, he turned to his faith for comfort and strength. In his own writings, Patrick recounts how he prayed hundreds of times a day, and even more at night, his faith becoming a beacon in the darkness of his captivity. This period of enslavement, lasting 6 grueling years, was a crucible that forged Patrick's character and spirituality. It was in the silence of the Irish countryside, under the open sky, that he experienced a deepening of his relationship with God, a relationship that would guide the rest of his life. Despite the hardship, or perhaps because of it, Patrick's understanding of the Irish people and their culture deepened. He learned the language and customs, insights that would later prove invaluable in his mission to convert Ireland to Christianity. After 6 years of bondage, the turning point in Patrick's life came through a dream. He describes hearing a voice urging him to leave Ireland and promising that a ship was ready to take him home. Trusting in this divine guidance, Patrick made the bold decision to flee, embarking on a perilous journey across the Irish countryside towards freedom. Patrick's escape was fraught with danger. He traveled alone, covering more than 200 miles of unknown terrain, filled with the risk of recapture or worse. His faith was his compass, guiding him towards a port where, just as his vision had promised, he found sailors willing to take him aboard. The journey back to Britain was a testament to Patrick's resilience and unwavering faith. But arriving home was not the end of his trials. Patrick found himself a stranger in what should have been a familiar land. changed by his years of captivity and isolation. Back in Britain, Patrick's spiritual journey deepened. He experienced a series of visions, one of which he describes as the voice of the Irish, a haunting plea from the people of Ireland, calling him back to the land of his enslavement to spread the message of Christianity. This call was not one Patrick could ignore, yet he knew he was not yet ready to undertake such a monumental task. Seeking guidance and education, he traveled to Gaul, modern-day France, where he entered a monastery. It was here, among the monastic community, that Patrick found the mentorship and theological training he needed. For the next several years, Patrick dedicated himself to religious study, prayer, and preparation. He was ordained as a priest and later as a bishop, equipped not only with a deep understanding of Christian doctrine, but also with the leadership skills necessary to undertake his mission. Patrick's time away from Ireland was a period of profound personal and spiritual growth. It was a time when the seeds of his future mission were sown, nurtured by his unwavering faith, his dedication to his studies, and his commitment to answering the call he had received. With his education complete and his resolve strengthened, Patrick was ready to return to Ireland. But this time, he would not be returning as a captive, but as a missionary determined to change the spiritual landscape of the island forever. But the island he returned to was not the land he had left. It was a place deeply rooted in Celtic traditions and polytheistic beliefs, a society organized around tribal kingdoms and druidic priests. Patrick's mission was monumental: to introduce Christianity to a culture with its own deeply entrenched religious and social systems. It was a task that required not just spiritual conviction, but strategic ingenuity and cultural sensitivity. Patrick began his mission in the north and west of Ireland, areas less influenced by Roman Britain and where he had spent his years of captivity. Familiar with the language and customs, Patrick was able to communicate effectively and respectfully with the local chieftains and their communities. One of Patrick's most strategic approaches was his decision to integrate Irish customs and symbols into his teachings. He famously used the shamrock, a common clover native to Ireland, to explain the concept of the Holy Trinity, bridging the gap between Christian doctrine and the Irish people's connection to their natural world. Patrick's respect for the Irish people and their culture played a crucial role in his success. He did not seek to overthrow the existing social order, but to weave Christianity into the fabric of Irish society. He engaged with kings and tribal leaders, understanding that their conversion could lead to the conversion of their people. However, Patrick's mission was not without its challenges. He faced opposition from druidic priests who saw him as a threat to their influence, and from some tribal leaders wary of his intentions. Despite these obstacles, Patrick's dedication never wavered. He continued to travel across Ireland, preaching, baptizing, and establishing communities of believers. Patrick's approach was revolutionary. He established monasteries that became centers of learning and culture, not just religious sites. These monasteries played a pivotal role in preserving not only Christianity, but also knowledge and learning during the Dark Ages. Through his tireless work, strategic approach, and deep respect for the Irish people, Patrick laid the foundations for Christianity in Ireland. His return to the land of his captivity marked the beginning of a spiritual transformation that would shape the course of Irish history for centuries to come. Among the many legends surrounding St. Patrick, his encounter with a pagan chieftain named Dara encapsulates the challenges and triumphs of his mission in Ireland. According to tradition, Patrick sought to establish his main church in the year 445 at Armagh, known in Irish as Ard Macha. The saga begins with Dara, who refuses Patrick's request to build a church on the hill of Ard Macha, offering him instead a plot of lower ground to the east. The tension escalates when Dara's horses, after grazing on the land designated for the church, mysteriously die. In anger, Dara orders his men to kill Patrick, but fate intervenes. Dara is struck down with illness, and his men, desperate to save their chieftain, plead with Patrick for a cure. With holy water, Patrick revives both Dara and his horses, a miracle that leads to a remarkable change of heart. In gratitude, Dara gifts Patrick a great bronze cauldron, symbolic of abundance and generosity, and offers him the coveted hill of Ard Makkah. There, Patrick would establish a church that would become the spiritual heart of Ireland. This story, echoing the tales of the Dagda and his cauldron of plenty, illustrates the merging of Christian and pagan elements in the fabric of Irish Christianity. But perhaps the most enduring legend associated with St. Patrick is that he drove all the snakes from Ireland. While this is likely a metaphor for his eradication of pagan practices, the story captures the imagination and speaks to Patrick's role as a protector and spiritual guide for the Irish people. After decades of tireless missionary work across Ireland, the time came for St. Patrick to lay down his staff. Tradition holds that he passed away on March 17th, around the year 461 AD in Saul, County Down, the very place where he is said to have built his first church upon his return to Ireland. This date, now celebrated as St. Patrick's Day, marks not only the end of his earthly journey, but the beginning of his eternal legacy. St. Patrick's death was mourned across Ireland, a testament to the profound impact he had on the island, converting kings, founding monasteries, and baptizing thousands. He left behind a Christian community that was uniquely Irish, deeply rooted in the land and its culture, yet connected to the broader Christian world. Patrick's own writings, such as his Confessio and Letter to Coroticus, provide a rare personal insight into his thoughts, struggles, and the depth of his faith. These texts are among the few surviving documents from this period in Ireland, offering invaluable perspectives on the early Irish Church and its foundational principles. Over the centuries, St. Patrick's Day has evolved from a religious observance into a global celebration of Irish culture and heritage. Parades, green attire, and festivities around the world pay homage to Patrick and the indomitable spirit of the Irish people. Yet, at its heart, the day remains a tribute to a man whose faith, perseverance, and love for the Irish people transformed an island and inspired generations. St. Patrick's legacy is not just in the Christianity he spread or the legends that surround him, but in the unity and joy that his memory brings to people around the world.
If you've enjoyed this trek through history and legend, why not leave a little shamrock of your own? Hit that like button to spread the luck around. And if you're thirsting for more epic tales from the past, be sure to tap the subscribe button and ring the bell. Our time machine has plenty of room, and the next adventure is just around the corner. Here at PastPixelAI, we dive into the mysteries of history, unearthing the stories that have shaped our world. From ancient warriors to unsung heroes, from lost civilizations to the legends that refuse to fade, our channel is your gateway to the past. And remember, every time you subscribe, a digital shamrock grows in the heart of PastPixelAI, bringing good luck to all our historical quests. So, don't leave us adrift in the annals of time. Join the PastPixelAI crew today. Until next time, keep the spirit of exploration alive, and may the road rise up to meet you.